Thank you for tuning in to WGRB Media, the voice of the community. This is the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. You're listening to Divorce Your Landlord that airs every Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Terri Young. If this is the first time tuning in to Divorce Your Landlord, it's not just about your typical landlord, but the landlord that hold us back from achieving your goals, fulfilling your destiny, limiting yourself from living a purposeful life. Today, our show is sponsored by Z3 Carolinas. If you've been debating whether or not to sell your house and are curious about the market conditions in the area, call them at 980-231-1428 so they can help you decide the best time to put your house on the market. Or visit them at their website at www.z3carolinas.com. All right, let's get into today's show. Today, we're going to talk about how to be okay with where you are right now. How to be okay with where you are right now. Don't know about you all, but when I was younger, I'm sure I was arrogant. I had high expectations for life and thought that I was going to achieve so much by the age of 20s, in my 20s and 30s, right? They haven't come to pass. I haven't achieved whatever I thought I would achieve. It turns out that I'm an ordinary human being struggling with ordinary things. That's life. Now that I'm 45, I've experienced disappointment, failure, sadness, financial setbacks, and confusion, right? Many times I have lost sight of the path, and sometimes it felt like there was never a path. I expected I would be a lawyer. I did not expect I would be someone like I am today. About to walk away from a corporate high-level management job to be a full-time realtor. Never saw that coming, but I'm so excited about this journey. I didn't expect to have periods of loneliness or despair. I didn't even expect to be just like everyone else. I told y'all I was arrogant. But I love that younger person of me because there was no fear, right? But maybe I thought I was just special, different, exempt. Maybe we all think that when we're younger, or it could just been me. It does seem that life isn't running according to my plan. And maybe there's a bigger plan. I may not always like it, but maybe it's perfect after all. I don't know what this universe has in mind. And it would be very arrogant to think I did. So let me ask you all this. How could this part, this plan, this bigger plan could be a part of God's plan and we just not even know it, right? So we got to be okay where we at, even though it's not where we think we should be, right? In order for me to understand the highs and lows of being a human, then I have to kind of experience and live that, right? Being a realtor, you got to be empathetic. You got to kind of walk in people's shoes and know and understand what they're experiencing. It's not just about closing deals and making money, but understanding where people are in their journey and helping them navigate to get to their next level. Experiencing disappointment, struggle, failure is part of being human. It helps us relate to one another. I'm pretty idealistic at times, but at this age, I know I'm pretty much human. I'm full of faults, I'm full of mistakes, but I also have some great, brilliant moments too. I also realized that what I have achieved is not important. What's more important is what I've learned. Yes. When I was younger, it was all about achieving. And now later in life, it's all about what can I learn? What can I learn? So change your mindset, especially when it goes to goals or just getting to the next level. Don't look at and be so focused on achieving that goal, but by doing this goal, what are you learning? Okay. And I have to say, much of this didn't come from me being successful. It actually came from me not being successful. Often my lessons came from the struggle of being a human, wanting, trying, failing, and wanting and trying some more. So at this stage, with my dreams still tugging at my heart and a lot of struggle behind me, I finally understand something about self-acceptance. Here I am right now. This is where I am, and I am okay. We need to be okay where we are. It's not your final destination. It's just where you are right now, and you need to be okay. I am where I am right now. That is just my starting point. It's not my final. I might wish I were further along, but I am where I am. And we have to accept where we are, or we can't move anywhere, let alone move forward. So let's ask yourself, where are you now? And why is that okay? I find myself way too often with this sentence pops in my mind all the time. If blank, then I will be happy. If I was traveling the world, then I would be happy. If I had a husband, I would be happy. If I own my own place, then I would be happy. It's okay to dream, don't get me wrong. However, it's time to stop that negative self-talk. I've learned that you do not achieve happiness by checking a goal off your to-do list, as you will quickly move on to the next thing. You will always want more. So stop delaying your happiness. Your happiness isn't in the future. It is now. We need to find our happiness now. It's not a good idea to place it into something or someone that's not even here yet. It may not ever be. Your happiness is learning to appreciate the present moment. So catch yourself next time when you have that thought, if blank, then I will be happy, cross your mind, and shift that perspective. Focus on being present and on all the good things you already have in your life. Yes, you may not have a husband, but you have great and pretty cool friends to hang out with, right? So you're not completely alone. So focus on that. Whenever I'm feeling bad about my current situation, I always try to practice gratitude. Even when something go crazy, I'm like, okay, Terri, how can we look at this from the positive? And it's sometimes hard, but I have to help myself get in that mindset. Gratitude is about taking time from your busy life to appreciate what you have. When you take time to count your blessings, you realize that your life is actually full of things to be grateful for. Your mind is simply too clouded with ifs and when to see it. So it is our job to get our mind to stop, because our happiness is now. It's in the present. It's not delayed. It's not if and when we achieve a goal. Our happiness is now. So one thing to note is that feeling grateful isn't just enough alone. You actually have to make gratitude a daily practice. And I've talked about this multiple times. I try to do, I am a grateful for journal every day. This just really helps me focus on the positives in my life, helps me keep my mindset focused and allow me to move forward. But it also allowed me to be okay where I am in my journey today. And while, in addition to listing a few things you're grateful for, think about why you're grateful. When I come back to gratitude, everything always gets better for me. My expectations may be higher than my reality. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm really hard on myself, and really practicing gratitude allows me to show myself mercy. So, you know, many people lack just basic stuff, and I have to put that in perspective. Like, I've never had to go without a meal. I've always had access to clean water. I've always had access to health care. I've always had access to education. I mean, very simple things in life makes me understand how blessed I am. So let me ask you this. What do you give thanks for? What are you grateful for? And when you're not happy with the season of your life you're in, it can feel like it's dragging on and on, so there's no end in sight. But please trust me, every season comes to an end to make room for a new one. So remind yourself that this is temporary. Where you are today is temporary. Meanwhile, make the most of the season you're in instead of waiting and delaying your happiness around until a new one comes. For me, before I was married, I made the most of my singleness. It's an understanding that I don't need anyone to complete me. I'm enough. When I shifted my focus on being okay with being single, it's when my husband showed up, literally, you guys. I was so comfortable and I was so okay with being single that I had mentally prepared myself that I was going to be single for the rest of my life. So I literally had come to an understanding, both mentally and emotionally, to a certain level, that I was going to be single. And I was completely okay with it. And I even began to prepare financially for a single life. Like, I met with a financial advisor, and I told him, at the time I was a single mom to my daughter, I was like, look, when she graduates from high school and go off to college, I want to retire from corporate. I don't want to work. I just want to travel the world and just do what makes me happy. Exactly a year later, I was engaged to my husband and had my second child. So just know, when you embrace where you are and you're okay with the season where you at, it moves and it goes so much quicker, right? And I truly believe that if I had not been okay where I was at in my singleness, that I might not have been ready, or I might not have experienced my husband and met my husband, because my mindset was not on, oh, I got to find a man. Okay. My mindset was, oh, I'm about to live this amazing life because my daughter is 8 years away from graduating. So I got 8 years to get my life together financially so I can retire, travel the world, and do what I love. That's what I was focused on. So another question, ask yourself, how can you make the most of the season in your life you're in right now? Wow. So I asked myself this. I said, how can I make the most of the season in the life I'm in right now? And I'll tell you guys, that is what helped me decide to leave corporate and go into real estate full time. But anyway, so being content means finding peace in where you are in life right now and enjoying where the present has you. But it does not mean you have to settle. Remember, this is just your starting point. It's not your final destination. If you're not exactly where you would like to be right now, take action. And those could be small steps. You don't have to take a big step. Those can be small but intentional goals that will take you to where you want to be. Maybe you want to start your own business or change careers. Not really right now, but for a period of time, if you don't want to work on a plan or whatever, that's fine. But let me just tell you all, taking action, taking those small steps, can help you shift and move in that journey towards that. So a couple years ago, I realized that I was in a job that I did not like. It just wasn't fulfilling. Like, I wasn't happy, right? And so I started to take action. And what that action looked like is I enrolled in real estate school while working my corporate job and start studying to pass real estate school. After I passed real estate school, I went on and studied and passed my national and state exam and became a licensed agent, and later on became a realtor. If I had not taken action, I wouldn't be where I am today. Not saying where I'm at today is where I want to be. That's definitely not. But it's a starting point, right? And I know it's not my final destination. But where I am today compared to where I was a couple years ago, I can honestly say I have more happiness and more peace in my life. And it's because I took action. Okay. We have to remember no one's journey is the same. And I know you may be like, duh, Terri, I already know that. Or maybe hearing it just now is now resonating with you. Or maybe like me, you just need to hear it a little bit as a reminder. No one's journey is the same as anyone else. Comparison is a big element when it comes to being happy with where you are in life right now, especially nowadays with social media. Oh my God. It's so easy to get caught up in comparing and feeling discontent because you're not in the same stage of life as someone you follow. However, when you understand your journey in life and you appreciate your strengths, you often worry less about what others are doing. It's important to realize that what works for someone else may not work for you, or that not being in the same stage of life as someone else does not mean you have failed. Wow. Does not mean you have failed. We all go through life at different paces, and that is okay. So what? I'll tell you guys, I bought my first home in 2005. I have friends that were buying homes way before me. It wasn't my journey. It wasn't my time to buy a home prior to then. I wasn't ready. I wasn't budgeting. I wasn't conscious of my credit and managing that and paying bills. I was not ready to be a homeowner. So it wasn't time. That wasn't the stage that I was in. And I realized that and understood that. And so we can't get caught up in comparing ourselves to other people in their journey in their lives. And I just want you to know you are exactly where you are meant to be right now. I know this is a hard one to accept. I feel like when I tell myself that, I'll be wanting to pout and be like, no, I'm certainly not. Deep down, though, I know it's true. Or at least I think that whatever I'm going through right now is exactly where I'm meant to be. That every season of life teaches you lessons and make you stronger. You know, my grandmother always said, you have to master one level before God can bless you to the next level. And I'll take that even further. When you're going through life, things come at you and hit you in different kinds of ways. Those are tests, okay? Those are lessons to help you become stronger. And if you don't experience those things, that when you finally get to a higher level, you're going to miss out on your blessing because you're not going to be so focused on stuff that doesn't make any sense instead of focusing on a bigger thing, right? So I struggle with being okay where I'm at right now. I feel like I should be so much further along in life. Do you struggle with being okay with where you are in life right now? If so, how do you deal with it? You know, hit me up on my Facebook, Divorce Your Landlords, and tell me, are you struggling where you are right now? And if so, how are you dealing with it? And if you're not dealing with it, tell me why. We are often much harder on ourselves than anyone else will ever be. I am very hard on myself. You may think you have achieved nothing while the next person you have everything. It's all relative and it's all perspective. None of us have an unbiased lens. None of us. There is no point wishing you were more than you are. It may all be happening this way for a reason. Even if there's no reason, the meaning you choose, you will make the difference. Okay. Choosing to be okay where you are will make a difference. At the end of our lives, it won't really matter how many toys we have, how many homes we have, how many cars we have, or even what we have achieved. What will matter is, did you appreciate life? It will matter that you enjoyed and explored being human. You love and you experience. And I'm not saying to give up on your dreams. I'm just saying, let's keep it moving towards them. Just play the game lightly, but don't keep score. Stop that scorecard. We got to stop that. Nobody's keeping score in the game of life. And again, like I say, you're not the only one. I frequently struggle with being okay with where I am in life at the moment, despite being grateful for all the things I have. I'm constantly making plans for the future, thinking about how life will be different if, or even feeling nostalgic about my past. Even more so at this time of year, I think I put too much pressure on myself. You know, new year, new you, and to crush goals, right? To have the best year ever. And sometimes that can be overwhelming for myself, for anyone. After the break, I will be joined by one of my clients, Terri Sutton, to continue the discussion on how you can divorce your landlord by being okay with your journey and where you are in life. You are tuned in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back. Are you currently renting because you can't qualify for a mortgage because of your credit or your income? Well, don't worry. I have the perfect program for you. I can help you divorce your landlord. All you need is a 550 credit score, $30,000 annually in income, and have a saving of $3,000. Yep, those are the only three things. So if you have a 550 credit score or higher, make $30,000 in annual income a year, and have $3,000 in savings, call me. We can help you get into a home today. My number is 980-202-1769. Again, 980-202-1769. Allow me to help you divorce your landlord and start building equity today. This is Terri Young, your favorite realtor at Z3 Carolinas. Welcome back to WDRB, the voice of the community, and those streaming live through free TuneIn radio app and through iHeartRadio. You're listening to Divorce Your Landlord, and I'm your host, Terri Young. Today's show is sponsored by Z3 Carolinas Group. The only BS they have time for is buyers and sellers. If you're looking to sell or buy real estate, contact them at 980-231-1428 or visit their website as www.z3carolinas.com. If you or anyone you know has a testimony about divorcing a landlord, please reach out to me via Facebook at Divorce Your Landlords or text or call me at 980-202-1769 or email me at terriyoung@kw.com. If you're just tuning in, today we have a special guest, Terri Sutton, who just went under contract on her first home. Hello, this is Terri Young, your favorite realtor and host of WDRB Media, Divorce Your Landlord show. As you all know, I'm a realtor, and I have one of my clients here that just went under contract, and her name is Miss Terri Sutton. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So before we started, you guys, I took a swallow of water and like to choke, so bear with my voice. But anyway, so Tara, what do you got to say about divorcing your landlord?
I think divorcing your landlord is so important, right? It's about more than just essentially getting your own place that you own, right? It's a whole lifestyle change. So it's like getting in the mind frame that you deserve to have that, right? You deserve to be in that place. You have to change your mind to be focused, right? You need to be focused. You need to be diligent. You're in charge of your own destiny, right? So you have to take all the steps. That means taking ownership of your mess, right?
Okay, so when you say mess, are you talking about debt?
Right. Debt, credit, your budget, living outside of your means, all those things, right? You need to get those things in perspective to understand what's your goal, right? If you have a goal, you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit, right? Just to get there. And it may not be that difficult. You just may not realize the things that you're doing wrong. I think the first step is looking at it, right? I think people are scared to look at their finances. They're scared to think, oh, I have to live in a budget. They're scared to do all those type of things because I sure didn't want to. But it gives you perspective. And once you do those things, you're like, okay, you come up with a plan, like, okay, I could do this, I can do this. But you got to take your time, be patient with yourself. You're gonna make mistakes like we all do, right? We still are us. We're adults, we want to do what we want to do. You get in that mindset and you get where you want to be. We were able to get a home and I feel so amazing about it, so blessed. And I thought the process would be so much longer. I thought it would take so much more. And it was a goal for me when I turned 35 to get a home. And so when I went into
So you set a goal when you turned 35 to get a home?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that is awesome. But setting a goal, that's the first step, right? Okay.
Right.
So you said something real quick before we go any further, that you was scared to look at your finances and to look within. Why? Do you know? What was that fear?
Probably because I knew I was doing too much and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to live my life the way I wanted to live it, right? I want to eat out whenever I want to eat out. Not to say that I can't, but it's just like, ooh, I have to look at myself, right? You have to you have to face that credit report, right? That credit report is like, you made mistakes in your life, or you weren't as mature at some point, right? And those things are still on there and it don't look as good as you want it to look, or it may not be the place that you're at now, but there's still things on there that you got to fix, right? And so it's just putting that back in perspective and realizing, okay, let me work through this. You might not be that person today, but you got to work through those things.
So, today's episode is going to be about being okay where you are. But that does not mean it's your final destination, right? And so what I'm hearing you say is that, you were okay, but you knew you wanted more. So you took action. Right. And by taking action, one, you set the goal, right? You said out loud, you manifest that out loud by saying, I want to own a home by age of 35. But you didn't just stop there. You started to look within and see how you can make that happen, right? Yes. So you start taking action and putting a plan in place.
Correct. I put a plan in place and just kind of work through it. Now it's been a plan that I've been building for the last year or two, right? So I'm like, okay.
So it's not a plan that you did yesterday. Like, no. It took some time.
Right. We paid off another car. We paid off cars. We paid our debt down. We're just trying to get just one thing at a time, right? And I think just like how people make a vision board, right? Essentially, I made myself a vision board. And even when I was putting the vision board together, not for this year, but for last year, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, but I'm gonna put it on here anyway, right? And so I was able to. God gave me the things I needed. He gave me the support I needed. He gave me the money I needed. It was supplied, right? So I was like, okay, I knocked this off. And even right now, to say that I have a home is still mind blowing to me. I put it on the sheet. I didn't think it was gonna happen, but I knew that I could take the steps to get there, or at least I didn't think it would happen this fast. And so here I am, and it's an amazing feeling, and I'm just thankful for that, to be in this place and that we were able to do the work. And now I know I have somewhere where I don't have to worry about the rent going up $100, $200 every year. It's ridiculous. I'm like, you haven't come in this house and done nothing to improve.
But you want to go up.
But you want this rent check to go up. And so now I know I have a place where I don't have to worry about it, right? I have a set amount, I can cover it, and we're good to go. And that makes me feel great.
Awesome. So now that you have been through the beginning stages of the home buying process, what are some key things that you feel people should know or they should do?
I think an important thing is think of your budget, right? So think of your budget and just have the mindset, whatever you get approved for, there's two choices, right? You can get approved for more than what you may want to pay. Think about that, right? It sounds nice, right? I want that whole budget. I want that because that's the kind of house I want. But is that the kind of house you can afford, right? So they looked at your finances, they know what you can afford, but you also know what you do, right? If you like to eat out, if you like to take vacations, if you like to do all this extra stuff, or you intend to add more stuff later on, then think about that, right? You don't want to be house poor. So, right. You can have a nice budget, but you may need to ring it in some. You may need to really, and even opposite side, if your budget is not as much as you expected it to be, well, then they're trying to tell you something, right? That you need to rein in some stuff. And this is what you can afford. And this is what we feel comfortable giving you, because this will allow you to survive. They don't want you to be house poor. You got to open up your mind and think, okay, well, this is what they gave me, and try to find something within that. This is a stepping stone home. It's not the end all be all. This is your first place. This is you getting your feet wet. And then you can move into bigger and better.
Yes, I love that. And so many times as a realtor, I tell my clients, just because you pre-approved for $350,000 does not mean you have to buy a home at $350,000.
Mm-hmm.
You need to figure out how much money you want to pay for your housing alone and still can live your life, still get your hair done, your nails done, go to the barbershop, go to a movie. Well, it's COVID right now. I don't know how many people going to the movie, but go to concerts when they
date night,
have date night, travel, do whatever it is. If a friend call you up and say, hey girl, we got these tickets, let's go and do it. You want to be able to do that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you're already buying a home where you already stretched to your max, you're not going to be able to do that.
You're right.
And I find when people do that, they hate home ownership. They hate their home because it's now a prison and not a home.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I tell people all the time, it's okay that you get not the top of the line home your first time around, your second time, your third time. Just think about it. When you bought your first car, did you go out and buy a Mercedes?
No. And we all know that first apartment too, right? It was raggedy.
But it was yours.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, when I first got my car, I was like, look, I need 4 wheels. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I needed.
And you whipped it with pride, didn't you? Exactly.
Look, I told a story not too long ago. My sister had a car. It was brown. I don't even know what type of car. I can't even remember. I just remember on the passenger side, you could see the ground. It had a hole in it, right? And to start her car, we used the handle of a spoon.
Oh my God, listen.
But look, baby, we went to the club. We went to work. We was in that car like it was the best thing to slice bread, okay? Because I wasn't standing in no cold weather in the snow in Ohio waiting on no bus.
Exactly. This will do.
So, and I was okay with that because guess what? I knew one day I wouldn't have to be dependent on that. But I knew that was my stepping stone.
Exactly.
I understood that wasn't my final destination. That was just what it was for now. And I was okay with that. And I think so many of us, especially in the home buying process, we get caught up comparing ourselves to other people.
That's true.
And you don't understand people's journey because not everybody started at the 350.
That's true.
I know when I bought my first house, I paid less than $100,000.
Amen.
And you know what? It was a castle to me. Do you understand? Because it was mine.
It was yours.
It was less than 1,200 square feet. But you know what? You couldn't tell me nothing.
No, and can't nobody come in there and tell you nothing about it.
Hey, I'm like, this is all mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is mine.
Yeah.
I can paint a wall if I want to. I can tear a wall down. I can do whatever I want.
And I want to speak on other people's journey, right? So we see people all around us, our friends and people on Facebook, and they're like, oh, they got a house a few years ago, or oh, their house looks like this, or oh, you don't know their circumstances. You don't know what they did to get that house. You don't know who gave them a handout to get that house. You don't have the same resources that they have. You don't know how that transaction transpired, right? So you need to worry about you. It looks nice. You're like, oh my God, I'm so behind. All my friends have this and I don't have nothing, or I don't have this. I'm not at that place in life. But that's not your time. It's your time when it's your time. And it may not be on somebody else's time. Just take your time when it's yours. You're free to get what you need and you'll be in the right place. And
not everybody has the same journey.
And you want to get it when it's your time. When it's not your time, you're going to lose it.
Amen to that. Because I've had quite a few stuff that was not my time. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I get it now.
Yeah. And it's sometimes like God knows you're not ready at that time, right? You're not ready yet. Or maybe it's some things you need to let go of in life before you are ready for that. And that's perfectly fine. It's okay. You'll get where you need to be.
Yes. Well, thank you, Tara. This has been amazing. And I guess, what have been your experience working with me, your realtor, Terri Young?
You've been absolutely amazing. You listened when we weren't direct. You heard us out. You understood what we needed. You were quick. You were present. I just genuinely appreciate you. You was on it. Your personality is big and we love it. And we just thank you so much for your help. Genuinely.
Well, I thank you all for trusting me, but I also thank you all for understanding and respecting that I'm the professional and I know, and not allowing other people that's not familiar with this market, that has not bought in this market, to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Because I get that so many, I have a lot of clients, unfortunately, that they listen to other people and say, well, this home is not worth that, or why do I have to put this much up? Or even, why do I need to submit an offer and not even see the home?
Yeah, and I know that can be tough, but that's the market we're in. And honestly, that's what we did. And we said a week ago, we'd never do that.
And did I not tell you that I had another client that said the same exact thing? And she did.
I was like, we ain't doing that, but okay.
Be careful.
God will get you. God will check you. You said, what you say now?
Because that's pretty much telling God what? You don't have faith in him. Because everything that happened, I can't take credit for.
Yeah.
God was working with us, and he just used me as a vessel.
Amen.
To bless you all. But if you didn't have the faith, I didn't have the faith, and we didn't have the trust in one another, it wouldn't have never happened.
I agree.
So, well, thank you, Terri. I'm so excited. And I cannot wait to reach out to you next year and say, this is how much equity you have in your home.
I'll be waiting.
Well, this is Terri Young, your favorite realtor here at Divorce Your Landlord, hosted on WDRB Media every Friday at 8 a.m. Look forward to speaking with you all. Please give us a shout out. Check out our web pages, our Facebook page. Let us know what you think about today's episode. And let me know how you've been divorcing your landlord. What is your journey looking like? This is a wrap for today's show. I'd like to thank Tara Sutton for joining us and letting us know how she's divorcing her landlord. I'm so excited for her and her family. And again, if you would like to be a guest on my show, please reach out to me via Facebook at Divorce Your Landlords. Text or call me at 980-202-1769 or email me at terriyoung@kw.com. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Continue to tune in every Friday at 8 a.m. Please remember to connect with me on Facebook, Divorce Your Landlord. Also, if you want to learn more about free advertisement, don't forget to reach out to me. Again, you can call me at 980-202-1769 or email me at terriyoung@kw.com. You've been listening to Divorce Your Landlord, and I'm your host, Terri Young, on WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. Until next week, continue to be blessed and continue to divorce those landlords. Are you thinking about selling your home this spring? Here are 5 reasons why you need to list your home now and not wait until the spring. 1, buyers are looking right now and they're ready to purchase. More than 6 million properties showing scheduled across the country each month. 2, the law of supply and demand tells us that if you want best price possible, to negotiate your ideal contract terms. Put your house on the market when there's strong demand and less competition. 3, newly constructed homes will be your competition this spring. 4, moving now will save you thousands as home prices are projected to appreciate by 5% or more over the next 12 months, as well as interest rates. And 5, it may be time for you to make a change. Is waiting more important than being closer to your loved ones? Is waiting more important than your health? Only you know those answers to those questions. Take time to think about your goals and priorities as we continue to travel through 2022 and consider what's important to act on now. This is Terri Young with Z3 Carolinas, and we look forward to getting your home sold. Give us a call at 980-231-1428 or visit our website as www.z3carolinas.com. Now is the time to cash in on your home's equity. Want to know what the value of your home is? Reach out to us at Z3 Carolinas for a free home equity analysis. You can give us a call at 980-231-1428 or go to our website at www.z3carolinas.com. Did you know you can get pre-approved to purchase a home with a credit score of 600 or higher? And all you have to pay is 3.5% in down payment. If you have a goal to purchase a home, call or text me, Terri Young, at 980-202-1769. Again, that's 980-202-1769. Remember, I help buyers and sellers worldwide. Are you currently renting because you can't qualify for a mortgage because of your credit or your income? Well, don't worry. I have the perfect program for you. I can help you divorce your landlord. All you need is a 550 credit score, $30,000 annually in income, and have a saving of $3,000. Yep, those are the only 3 things. So if you have a 550 credit score or higher, make $30,000 in annual income a year, and have $3,000 in savings, call me. We can help you get into a home today. My number is 980-202-1769. Again, 980-202-1769. Allow me to help you divorce your landlord and start building equity today. This is Terri Young, your favorite realtor at Z3 Carolinas.